You ever see someone get treated like trash, only to find out later they were the most important person in the room? Yeah, this one still lives rent-free in my head. I was on this late-night flight from New York to London, nothing special, but first class was stacked with the usual crowd. Overpriced watches, Bluetooth earpieces, shoes polished so bright you'd think they never walked a real mile. Right in the middle of all that sat this woman, maybe mid-30s, dressed in a plain black sweater, worn jeans, and this old leather backpack that looked like it had stories of its own. She looked tired, but not weak. Calm. The kind of quiet that makes people nervous because they can't figure out where to place you. The flight attendant, Brenda, I think her name was, gave her this look. You know the kind. Like she was a problem before she said a word. Next thing I know, some businessman in an expensive suit is arguing about overhead space. His bag doesn't fit in his own bin, so naturally, he feels entitled to hers. Brenda jumps in on his side instantly, tells the woman to move her backpack like she's in the way of real passengers. The woman says, politely but firmly, that her bag is exactly where it's supposed to be. Brenda doesn't like that. You could feel her switch flip. She leans in all close and drops, "I'll get the captain if I have to." Now, this is where it gets messy. Captain Marcus Thorne walks in and man, he walks like someone who hasn't been questioned in a decade. Doesn't even look at the woman at first. Just asks Brenda what the problem is, hears half the story, then turns to the woman and starts lecturing her like she's a kid who snuck into first class. She stays calm, says the bin wasn't reserved, her bag fits, no rules were broken. And then, just when you think it'll de-escalate, he raises his voice. Then raises his hand. Slaps her. Right across the face. The entire cabin froze. I've never heard silence like that on a plane. Not even the engines felt that loud after. And here's the twist: she doesn't cry. Doesn't scream. She reaches into her backpack, pulls out her phone, types something, and sends a message. Then just sits back, like she's waiting for dessert to arrive. No drama. No outburst. Just ice in her veins. Turns out, and I'm not exaggerating, this woman owns the airline. Serena Monroe. Majority shareholder. Board-level power. Not the face of the brand, not a mascot, the boss. Everyone from the pilot to the snack cart answers to her, and none of them had a damn clue. I found out later she was doing unannounced quality inspections, traveling under a different name to observe staff behavior without the red carpet. Well, she observed, all right. When we landed in London, there were black SUVs and legal teams on the tarmac before the wheels even cooled. CEO was waiting at the gate like a student in trouble. Brenda got pulled off the flight immediately. Captain Thorne? He didn't even get to walk off on his own, they escorted him out like a suspect. I remember watching him try to explain himself, stammering about protocol and misunderstanding, but the damage was done. You don't lay hands on anyone, let alone your employer. The aftermath? Brutal. Serena launched a full investigation. Turns out this wasn't a one-off. Brenda had multiple complaints buried by middle management, and Thorne had a reputation for pulling rank when he felt threatened. Both were fired. Brenda tried suing for wrongful termination, didn't make it past the first hearing. Thorne's pilot license? Suspended indefinitely. Word was, he was seen working logistics 6 months later, calling truck routes through a headset. Poetic, honestly. Serena didn't stop there. She overhauled training, rewrote crew evaluation standards, added hidden passenger auditing across the network. Aura Airlines turned into one of the most diverse and customer-respected carriers in 2 years flat. She didn't scream justice, she implemented it. And here's the kicker. 2 years after that flight, I saw Serena again, same black sweater, same calm presence, boarding a different flight. This time, everyone greeted her like royalty. But she didn't act like it. She just nodded, took her seat in economy, smiled at the flight attendant like nothing had changed. I'll never forget what she said during that one hearing. Power doesn't need to announce itself, it just acts when the time is right. That stuck with me. So now I'm asking you, where do you draw the line between authority and abuse? When does silence become complicity? Drop your thoughts below. I want to know what justice looks like to you.